The rationale for the chartering method. Probably the hardest question to answer is, why is chartering supposed to work? Some of my best friends are charterists, and I have listened very carefully to their explanations, but I have yet to really to understand them. Indeed, many charterists freely admit that they don't know why the chartering should work. History just has a habit of repeating itself. Yet, it is in our nature to ask why. To me, the following explanations of technical analysis appear to be the most polygenous. Trends might tend to the pretentious themselves for either of two reasons. First, it has been argued that the crown of massive psychology makes it so. Many investors so proud of speculative favor it going higher and higher. They want to jump on the bandwagon and join the rise. Indeed, the price rise itself helps through the enthusiasm in a self-fulfilling prophecy. Each rise in price just whets the appetite and makes investors expect a further rise. Second, there may be some unique access to fundamental information about a company. When some favorable piece of news occurs, such as the discovery of the rich miner deposit, it is legal that the insiders that the first to know, and they act buying the stock and causing its price to rise. The insiders then tell their friends, who act next. Then the professionals find out the news, and the big institutions put blocks of the shares in their portfolios. Finally, the poor slopes like you and me get the information and buy, pushing the price still higher. This process is supposed to result a later gradual increase in the price of the stock when the news is good and a decrease when the news is bad. Charterists claim that this scenario is somewhat close to what actually happened in the notorious Imeclone case, in which insiders, including the diva Martha Stewart, allegedly profiled on the basis of the non-public information. Charterists are convinced that even if they don't have access to this inside information, observation of the price movement alone enables them to pick up the sense of the smart money and permits them to get in long before the general public. Charterists believe that another reason their techniques have validity is that people have a nasty habit of remembering what they paid for a stock or the price they wish they had paid. For example, suppose a stock sold for about $50 a share for the long period of time during which a number of investors bought in. Suppose then that the price dropped to $40. The charterists claim that the public will be anxious to sell out the shares when they rise back to the price at which they were bought, and thus break even in the trade. Consequently, the price of the $50 at which the stock sold initially became the resistance area. Each time the resistance area is reached and the stock turns down again, the theory holds the resistance level becomes even harder and harder to cross because more and more investors get idea that the market or the individual stock in question cannot go any higher. Now, the similar argument lies behind the notion of the support levels. Chartists say that many investors who failed to buy fluctuated around a relatively low price level will feel so they have missed the boats when price rise. Presumably, such investors will jump at the chance to buy it when price drop back to the original low level. Chartists also believe that investors who sold shares when the market was low and then saw the prices rise will be anxious to buy those shares back if they can get them again at the price for which they sold. The argument then is that the original low price level becomes a support area because investors will believe that prices will again rise above the level. The orderly theory supports area that hold on successive declines becomes stronger and stronger. So if the stock declines to support area then begins to rise, the traders will jump in believing that the stock is just coming off the pad. Another bullish signal is flashes when the stock finally breaks through the resistance area. In the lexicon of the chartists, the former resistance area becomes a support area and the stock should have no trouble gaining further ground. So I read the rationale for the chartering method. So in my case, it's kinda so I'm really agree with these opinions. It's like psychologists make it so, and it's I feel like game just is 100% the supply and demand theory. Some people want to get at something, and then the supply is as normal, but on the other hand, the demand is so getting higher and higher, the price getting up. So, and then